This is MLB The Show 22. We're here on the PlayStation 5 taking a look at this year's entry in the long-running, previously PlayStation exclusive franchise that has now expanded this year with multiple platforms. So be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So what are we getting here on the PlayStation 5? Well, we're getting a dynamic 4K resolution at 60 FPS with HDR support. And yes, it does look quite fantastic. Visually, it is very impressive. I think it captures the scale, the simulation, and the style of, well, Major League Baseball that you would expect in a serious simulation way, while also offering a range of different modes and options for you to connect, adapt, and change your experience to be whatever you'd like it to be. Now, this does feel very similar to last year's. There are a couple of new features that I think are kind of a decently big deal, but just keep in mind that this one very much feels like, hey, we're adding another platform onto the list, so don't necessarily expect some wildly different experiences, right? So yeah, if you didn't know, they've added the Switch this year. It's now available. The year prior, they added Xbox as a platform option, so they are kind of making this available in more places and expanding the scope of what it has to offer this series. Now, with that, they are adding some really cool features. The highlight that I want to make as like the coolest new feature is crossplay and cross progression and cross saving. So you are able to, play on PlayStation and then maybe, jump on the Switch or whatever and kind of keep your experience going throughout. I think that's fantastic. I think that helps expand the scope of this game and allows you to really play the show however you want to, which is kind of exciting. So there are a range of different modes that are present. We're doing exhibition. There's also live exhibition. This is for when you want to jump in and just do a quick match, set up the time of day, set up the time of year, pick your teams, pick your rosters, how many innings you want, and then you just go and enjoy the magic of baseball. There's also some live events. This includes, well, obviously what I had just mentioned, the live servers for exhibition, live exhibition. So that's one of them, but there's Challenge of the Week, which is updated stuff. There's moments where you get to do some big moments, and, it's got a range of up-to-date content in it that should offer you a lot of gameplay. Then there's the Home Run Derby, so that's where you can go and kind of almost practice your batting as you do this. You just try to get home runs over and over and over again, so that's kind of cool. This looks like it's out of here in the Field of Dreams. Wow, it's gone. So there's also online, so you can do online matches, 4 players locally, 8 online, so you can enjoy that if you want to play with other people while exploring the range of MLB The Show action. We also have retro mode, if you'd like to do some old school baseball where it's more like quick hits and stuff like that. That option is present if you want to do it. If you want to do a little bit of throwback, which is kind of cool. Actually, I think retro mode's kind of a neat option. If it's something different that you'd like to give a whirl in this one, I think it actually is worth giving a little dive into. We've also got the postseason, so if you want to go after the season, you can do that. But we should probably talk about... Oh, that was a really bad throw. The key modes. So, yeah, we've got Road to the Show. That's kind of your, character story-driven thing. You pick who you want to be, you make your way up from the minors, you make it up to the big leagues, stuff like that. That's what Road to the Show is. There's Diamond Dynasty, which I compared to basically being like Madden Ultimate Team, FIFA Ultimate Team. It's a card-based experience where you are building your squad with these cards, and then you're trying to get better players, and, there's all that kind of stuff. Then there's the March to October, which is kind of like a condensed sort of seasonal thing, hitting on, the key moments, the key points of a season, and kind of letting you skip along a little bit faster. And then finally we have franchise mode, which obviously kind of precedes or includes as well the seasonal mode. The postseasonal mode. So in franchise, you jump in, multi-year things, you manage your squad, your team, you get out there, you do some baseball action. So yeah, franchise mode, pretty straightforward. Now they have made some adjustments to these modes, but nothing that's mind-blowingly different between them. There's also online co-op, which is kind of a big one. This allows you to play online cooperatively with others in a more dynamic way. That's kind of a cool option. If you want to give a whirl on that one, you might find it to be interesting. And I think that's out of here. Beautiful. We also have custom leagues, which is, another way to play online with others. There's custom practice, if you want to get some practice options in. And options explorer, which kind of helps, again, with your practice and learning the experience and the game. So on the PS5, oh, that's funny, it's phasing in there. It looks really good. It does. I mean, you might find some little jagged lines on some things or some little spots here or there, but for the most part, it looks really good. I do think they need a little bit of work on, like, the crowds. The crowds are quite dynamic. They look different, but, they could be a little bit more sharper, a little bit more realistic. And like I was saying prior, this really does feel like last year's version, but they've just kind of added some small adjustments. I believe them working on adding new console platforms to stretch them a little thinner for improvements and changes. So, just keep that in mind when you're looking at this game and what it has to offer. But I think it looks really cool. Obviously, with the PS5 and the DualSense, you do get to feel those, that nice haptic feedback when you're, oh, nice catch, batting, running around, interacting with the game. It's a nice little extra level of improvement for feeling, the sport itself. It's not like the most insane reactionary things ever, but it's a nice little touch that does help with the, I guess you would say the interactivity of the game. It's just a nice little feature that the PS5 can offer for this experience. Is he actually safe there? No, anyways. Yeah, so other things in this one, I talked about crossplay, cross progression, talked about the action. This is the complete baseball experience, and it's something that's for everyone. It's got something like 9 or 10 different levels of difficulty with like dynamic difficulty scaling if you'd like to have that option present. You can change your difficulty between like, hey, I want batting more difficult, I want batting more easy, or hey, I want my pitching more difficult or pitching more easily set. You can do that. You just easily change those settings at any point in the menu, and I think that's really good. That's going to be a double? No, we don't need them to get a double. It's done anyways. So I think that's fantastic, the fact that like literally anyone can easily jump in here and be like, okay, I'm going to play the game, and I think that's nice for accessibility. It's nice for being like, hey, I want to maybe play and learn baseball for the first time. You got that option, whereas the veteran players, you want to crank that up to some Legends level. You do you, right? Totally up to the player. It has so many choices. Like, I was actually blown away. I was like, does it need this many difficulty levels? That's just wild to me. But, all to their own. Ouch. Nice and easy. And then on top of that, 150 legends are present as well if you want some more historical type players to use. That's kind of a nice touch. Oh, there we go. That's what it's all about. And yeah, it's well-rounded. It's simulation, but it offers you some retro play choices as well. You don't have to just do an intense simulation of the sport. You can get a little bit more casual with it, and I think that's a nice touch. And I think since we have gone a little bit into this game, we're going to hop over to another match setup so you can just see some different teams in action. Alright, we've got ourselves a fresh setup, a fresh scenario. So new teams playing here at the Athletics Arena, which I always think is kind of a nice one to showcase. It's just got like a neat style to it. All of the arenas are really beautifully designed. They capture their real essence with some of the little cliche funny things that go on within each of them. There's custom arenas, there's historical arenas, there's a wealth of personalization and choice within this game, where you are able to be like, hey, creating my own player, making my way in, the league and stuff, or doing like different field creations, tons of different ballpark options, and then sharing those with others so that they can download stuff. And I think that's kind of nice. It really is just very well rounded. And as I've been saying, as I've been taking a look at this game across a few different platforms, actually, it really does offer everything. I think there's not. I can't really think of any other modes that I would really want in this game. It has everything. It would be great if they could experiment, do something zany or whatever. Sure, why not? But when you look at it, it's hard to pick something where I'm like, oh, this game doesn't have that, because it seems to have everything. It's kind of like peaked for just the amount of baseball content in it. And I'm wondering almost where will they go next? Will they come up with some crazy new mode? We're just going to see more iterations on the modes we have. And that's kind of where we're at, right? And like I was saying, if you played last year's, this very much is a similar experience. They haven't massively changed things. It's just we're getting more of a focus on crossplay, a new platform being available for people to enjoy. And I think that's quite cool that this is now, the baseball game for everyone, basically. I don't. There's no real competitors anymore. It looks like RBI is gone. This is the baseball game of all platforms now. And it's very intriguing to see how that's happened as PlayStation cultivated this absolutely fantastic, simulation baseball experience. I think that's just great that it's become, the final version that we have for now. Who knows? Maybe some kind of crazy new version will come out someday. It's hard to say. We'll have to see what, I guess EA might be working on something. But, I really am pleased with the game. It looks great on PS5. I don't really have any problems with it visual-wise. It's got a good quality to it. It all runs well. It's all smooth. Frame rate's nice. I haven't seen any issues. It's pretty straightforward, what it is, but you get a range of different modes. You get a range of different ways to play. You get all these different challenge setups. It's good, It's the ultimate baseball setup. MLB The Show 22 continues to deliver. Obviously, keep in mind, you're coming from the previous year. Is this enough of an upgrade for you? You'll have to come up with that yourself. It plays it very safe. I would like them to hopefully maybe innovate even more intensely down the road. But I think for now, it's good. I'm hard-pressed to find issues with this. That's the biggest thing, is it all runs well. There's a lot to do in it. There's a lot to play. If you like baseball, this is going to take you to the next year. The commentary this year, completely redone. I actually quite like the system and the upgrade there in regards to the delivery of the audio. I think it sounds pretty nice, and I believe it's some folks from ESPN handling this year's revamped commentary system. I thought it was pretty good. And again, liking the video is great, subscribing is great as well. And yeah, we'll just show off some more gameplay so you can see more of it in action and get an idea of things. We might also switch the teams again a little bit later on, but I hope you enjoy the rest of the showcase and the gameplay here.
2 on, 1 out. Yadier Molina getting ready to hit.
He's been such a good hitter with runners in scoring position. Some guys just take it to another level. For him right now at the plate, it's like everyone else is in slow motion and he's in full speed.
Oh, 2 as he waves at that one. Eric Summersgill with home plate duty in this one. Kind of known for being generous with the corners, Chris.
I think that used to be a lot bigger deal in past eras where pitchers were working more in and out with their pitches. But yeah, we'll see if those corners come into play in this one. Hey, no pitcher's going to argue at all.
At the belt and fires. Stays alive.
You're always having a tough time getting a pitch by him. As a hitter, you feel pretty confident that you're seeing different pitches still able to make some type of contact.
And he chases that one. And there's 2 away.
He came out of his mechanics there. Typically, he likes to shoot the ball the other way. But that time, a little anxious.
Now it's Paul DeYoung up to the plate. On the ground to the left. Urshela picks it up. The throw to first. Out number 3. So the Cards strand a couple. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. Back in Oakland, here's Miguel Sano. The pitch. That one misses. And that is ball 1. Next offering upstairs. Kicks and fires. Foul ball there. Next offering clips the zone count even at 2. This one blasted deep to left. Way out of here. Home run. Miguel Sano sends it out. And they jump out. So almost ready to get underway. And getting a start for Cincinnati, Tyler Mahle. What do you got on him, Chris?
Well, the key for him usually centers around his ability to command all 4 of his pitches. I mean, he can get by with 3 if one isn't working, but it becomes a little tougher to keep hitters guessing, especially when you start to get through the second and third time through the order. So we'll see how he incorporates all of his stuff into this one.
Okay, all set to go. So in now for the Angels, Brandon Marsh. In plenty of time to first. 1 up, 1 down. And now batting, Mike Trout. He is quite an athlete. I mean, you look around the other sports, basketball, football, you feel like he could thrive in one of those sports too. Drops into the glove, and there's 2 down. Two outs, base is empty. And next for the Angels, Jared Walsh. On the ground. The throw to first. Walsh retired. Bottom of the first. Jonathan India at the plate. The wind of the pitch. Got it started a little too early. Strike 1. And that gets the inside corner for a strike.
Love how vocal the umpire is today. No doubt in the hitter's mind, catcher's mind, and even the pitcher's mind as to the conviction in the call.
And a swing and a miss, and 1 gone. Tyler Naquin to the plate. The pitch.
Well, that split caught a lot of the zone. Definitely a hittable pitch, but coming off the fastball the pitch before, it's kind of tough to recognize. You notice there's something different about it. He threw it with the same arm action, same release point, and he left it up. But the movement and the change of speeds, that was enough to do the job.
Trout makes his way towards it, pulls it down, and he makes the catch. 2 down. And the batter now is Joey Votto. The right-hander back to work. And first offering is fouled off. Nice warm day here. Good baseball weather. Does that change anything, Chris, especially for the hitters?
Absolutely. You feel so much more comfortable at the plate. You're not worried about getting jammed on fastballs inside part of the plate. You can kind of be more selective instead of just looking.
And he got him. Strike 3, and that'll retire the side. Reds. New inning getting started. Here's Anthony Rendon up to the plate. The wind to kick the pitch. Liner to second and picked on the hop. India over to first in time. 1 up, 1 down. Justin Upton at the plate. The wind to the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's strike 1.
Wow, no fair right there. I mean, that slider didn't move till the very last moment. Incredibly difficult to pick that up. Just kind of have to tip your cap on that pitch.
No score here in the second. Got him. 2 away now. Max Stassi comes up to hit. A wind and a pitch.
Number 33.
Swings and misses. And it's 0-1.
Fell off to a great start. He's really cruising out there on the mound. He's got a chance to get through these first 2 innings with under 20 pitches. That could set him up to go deep into this game.
The 0-2. And a swing and a miss. And that's that. Back here at the ballpark, and here's the catcher, Tyler Stevenson. Swing and a miss, and strike 1.
Tyler Stevenson.
That hits the dirt, and now it's even 1-1. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count. Second inning here, no score. The 2-0 is in for a strike. And a swing and a miss there. That's to third. Fires over to first. And that is that. Nobody left. And welcome back. And now, Joe Adell. And he deals.
The right fielder, number 7.
And first offering is fouled off.